Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Now lately, we are seeing a lot of the cryptocurrency space be targeted by the SEC. And so this has been under investigation with Ripple and Coinbase for quite some time. However, lately they started to investigate Uniswap, and they just announced they're also going to be investigating MetaMask here as well. And so it's very important to be paying attention to what is going on, right? They have not provided clear regulations or compliance for the cryptocurrency space. However, these cryptocurrency companies are being targeted. And so it's going to be important moving forward to find cryptocurrencies that are meeting some of these compliance standards that have been continuously working towards gaining licenses in the cryptocurrency space. And so that is what we're going to be talking about today. And if you're interested, there is links underneath the video to multiple different cryptocurrency platforms if you're interested in supporting the channel. And so as I mentioned here, the FBI warns Americans against using non-KYC crypto money transmitting services. And so if we go ahead and take a look at this here, if I make it a little bit larger, we can see that they are warning them against using these different cryptocurrency platforms that do not have KYC and are not registered as a money services businesses. And so we can go ahead and take a look at that list. I'm going to be going over a cryptocurrency that is registered with the money services business, and that is a cryptocurrency that I think is going to do very well moving forward. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some more news here. We can see that there is a stablecoin bill that could be ready for the US House soon. And so there is talk that this could be ready before elections. And so this could be done here in about 4 to 6 months. And so in addition to that, we have the UK that's also going to be issuing new crypto stablecoin legislation by July. We have Europe tightening crypto regulations with new anti-money laundering laws. And so there's going to be some type of legislation or compliance coming out for cryptocurrencies over the next 4 to 6 months. And so that's definitely something to be looking out for. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the MSB here. If we go ahead and do a search here, we can see that Telcoin is one that is registered. And so they have already registered. They've been registered since December 7th, 2023. And so this is definitely something to be paying attention to. They are also working with legislation. This is something they have been focusing on since day one. They also have applied for the Nebraska Financial Innovation Act to be the first digital asset bank. In addition to that, they have many other licenses as well that we're going to be talking about here throughout this video. Now, if you're interested in using their platform, I think this is going to be one of the most compliant platforms out there. It's very simple to use, and so I recommend signing up for this now, as if other cryptocurrency platforms get taken down, it's good to have a backup here. And so the Telcoin app is very simple to use. As I mentioned here, they have many different assets that you can trade to, and then once you do that transition, it's very simple. And so you can go ahead and sign up by using this QR code here, or you can use the referral code underneath that as well. And so let's go ahead and take a look at Telcoin here. As I mentioned, they have always been focusing on a compliance first approach to each market, ensuring that the company takes on a fraction of traditional finance counterparty execution and custody risk. And so Telcoin is regulated as a major payment institution by Monetary Authority of Singapore. And so Telcoin is also registered and regulated in a number of other global markets, including the United States, Canada, Australia, and maintains primary offices in Singapore, Tokyo, and Los Angeles. And so they have also been an active member of the GSMA since February 2018. And so as I mentioned here, they're really focusing on the licensing for the cryptocurrency space. They're not focused on marketing. They're not focused on pushing themselves out there. They want to make sure that they have all the groundwork laid, that all of the regulatory aspect is taken care of. And I think this is the best thing for cryptocurrencies to do extremely well. And so let's go ahead and take a look at their team here. We can see they have a Chief Compliance Officer and Global MLRO. And so this is something that they need to be compliant as well. If we go ahead and take a look at the VASPs, which is a Virtual Asset Service Provider license, we can see they have this in 5 jurisdictions. And so they have this in Telcoin Europe, they have this in Telcoin Canada, Telcoin Singapore, Telcoin Australia, and Telcoin USA. And so you don't see this with a lot of other cryptocurrencies, right? These are things to be looking out for in cryptocurrencies that have these type of licenses, right? These are for virtual asset service provider license. And so this is something that's very beneficial in addition to the MSB license that they have as well. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the requirements for this. Now, to ensure the integrity and security of these services, many European countries have introduced regulations requiring VASPs to obtain a license. And so a virtual asset service provider license is a legal authorization granted by a regulatory authority to a VASP, allowing it to provide services related to virtual assets. And so this is what's going to be necessary to be able to provide virtual assets, to transmit between virtual assets, right? There's a huge benefit to digital assets. They're much faster, they're cheaper, they can be tracked, right? And so there's a lot of benefits to digital assets rather than going to a different bank or something like that and transferring from country to country. It may take 5 to 7 days. The cost may be about 70% higher. And so these are definitely things that we do today. However, it's been like that for a very long time. It's time for some change, and this is what Telcoin is focusing on. There's other cryptocurrencies out there that are focusing on the same thing, right? There's Ripple that's been in a lawsuit for a very long time. I guarantee that they are working towards getting a lot of these licenses. They're not just working with the SEC and not trying to figure out what they need. There has not been any open discussion on what is required for these cryptocurrencies. However, when they're working with the SEC directly, they're definitely getting that type of information. And so Telcoin has been very quiet, right? There's something to be said about that. They're working with the legal authorities to make sure that they meet all of the requirements and are compliant. They want to become the first digital asset bank in the United States, and so that's something to be paying attention to. I think this is very bullish for Telcoin and then other cryptocurrencies in the payment industry as well that are getting these types of licenses, whether that means that they're in the UK or the United States or in a different country, but it is something overall to be paying attention to, especially as the legal and regulatory framework starts coming into the cryptocurrency space. And so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future content, and make sure to check out that link underneath the video to Telcoin if you're interested in signing up for another platform. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.